Hello everyone, Cynocephali here, and unfortunately that trip was not successful. First things first, that tent was well overpriced. I thought maybe splurging a bit more than the cheapest amount for the Amazon Basic tent would have been a good idea, because I saw reviews saying it was a bad tent. Unfortunately, the Pure Box it looked nice, and it came in a nice looking bag, but that's what it really had going for it, aesthetics. The floor mat was so thin you could feel the mud through the floor, and it was very cold throughout the night. There was barely any thickness at all. There were sticks in the mud, unfortunately, underneath the mud, unfortunately, that I didn't see when putting down the tent. So I was basically lying down with sticks poking my back the whole night. It gave me rather rubbish sleep. And since I didn't have an air mattress, that was rather unpleasant, shall we say. The outer tent was so close to the bottom it was actually touching, and the instructions, even I didn't actually set it up correctly because the instructions were so bad, it didn't actually show you that you were supposed to use the strings to attach the outer layer of the tent, and so it wasn't actually as tight as it should have been. But the thing is, it probably wouldn't even matter, because even I've looked at other videos of people setting up the tent, and one good reviewer basically said, so the whole point of the outer layer of the tent is to stop condensation by letting air flow, but it touches the tent, so it still stops airflow, but it's also lets some air through, so you're going to get both cold and wetter. So it's basically useless. So it basically looks good. Great in the summer, I guess, in a nice, easy spot to camp in maybe. But you might as well just get the cheapest Amazon Basic tent at that point, or another cheap tent. The extra 25 quid is just a complete waste of money, basically. So yeah, not the greatest thing. That said, I do have some good news though. I didn't record it, and I wasn't sure whether to talk about it or not, because I was kind of doubting my own eyes, but I saw what I thought was some kind of invisible apparition of some kind. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I called out the name of Jesus Christ and told them to reveal themselves, and nothing happened, so I figured it was just some, well, I mean, again, we all know that demons have to bow to Christ, so I just assumed it was some kind of military forces guy testing some active camouflage. I mean, they were talking about how they were developing that decades ago, and why if they were talking about that they developed it in 10 years ago, they probably had it 20 years ago. So that's what I assumed. But the reason I didn't talk about it in the previous two videos was that I thought I saw it again, but it turned out it was a blind spot in my eyes, because that I was only seeing because it had gotten rather dark. But I haven't seen that blind spot since then, so I'm not actually sure what that was. I'm starting to wonder if that was really a blind spot or something else. And then later in the night, something reached hands out, or antlers maybe, or something, and touched the side of the tent and poked it. And of course I'd gone 2 days without sleep by this point, so I shouted it to go away and threatened to do something silly, well, dangerous really. And it went away, and then it came back later, but I was so tired at that point, I just ignored it. So I have no clue what happened. Maybe there was a dogman outside my tent, maybe not. Fortunately, I've seen one of my favourite content creators, Dead Appalachia, has actually found what seems to be the dogman, so I'm not so disappointed anymore. I mean, I went out searching for a dogman. I may not have found one, but someone did, so could have been worse, but yes. So learn from me, if you ever go hunting with dogman, don't set up your camp on top of mud, and certainly don't do it with the cheapest tent you can find, because that was an experience. But yeah, Cynocephali out. Cheers guys, have a good one.